Even the country's oldest Latino civil rights group came out against it, yet AOC keeps defending it, saying gender is fluid, language is fluid. Yes, and Latino voters are fluid. Intersectionality and the importance of shutting the fuck up about it. And undouching your face, man beards from Ted Cruz to J.D. Vance.
The Democrats are desperately trying to win back the support of Americans, but they're doing it in the most deceitful, out of touch, and embarrassingly pitiful ways imaginable. And guess who's calling them out? Bill Maher. In his latest monologue, the comedian ruthlessly mocked the DNC, dismantling their clueless strategies that fall flat with all the subtlety of a brick. It was harsh, hilarious, and exactly what they had coming. So if you enjoy straight-shooting political takedowns, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it.
To your point, I want to get to something very important. How many know what SAM stands for? It's a new phrase. It stands for Speaking with American Men, SAM. This is the new movement by the Democratic Party. They lost the men vote a lot last time. So they had a meeting up at the Ritz-Carlton at Half Moon Bay, south of San Francisco. I'm not making this up, where they served mini lobster rolls and had heirloom tomato carpaccio and seared sea bass in their conclave to decide how to win back the American man.
Maher opened his monologue by breaking down the Democrats' newest plan to win back American men, the same group they lost in last year's election, and let's just say he was both entertained and appalled. Rather than, actually engaging with the men they pushed away, the DNC decided the smart move was to host an upscale event at a luxury hotel, complete with gourmet dishes and all the political showmanship money could buy. Because nothing says, "We get you," quite like serving lobster rolls in a ballroom. Maher ripped into the ridiculousness of it, mocking their clueless attempt to reconnect with working-class voters from the comfort of catered luncheon. It wasn't outreach, it was performance, and Maher roasted them like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Now, look.
It's because we used to have conferences at Harvard to figure out what the working class needs, and so now we're moving west.
You gotta own who you are. I get it. These are the mini lobster roll people. But they had this symposium, and we got a hold of what was, this is Speaking with American Men. This is a real thing that they're doing, and they have these seminars. Would you like to hear what was said? Okay. These are ways that they wanna, seminars that they had to try to win back the typical American male, like how to keep your liberal base while putting guns on your Christmas card. That was one.
Maher began his roast by emphasizing just how completely out of touch the Democrats' strategies have become. He made the obvious point: if they had actually taken the time to talk with the liberal men who have shifted toward the center or even moved to the right, they might have gained some valuable insight. The main reason for this exodus? Their unrelenting fixation on woke politics. Instead of tackling the issues that truly matter, like the struggling economy, rising inflation, or America's fading reputation internationally, they've been too busy virtue signaling and catering to the Twitter outrage crowd. Maher made it clear this disconnect isn't just political incompetence, it's political suicide. The average voter isn't concerned with academic pronoun debates or activist language. They care about their finances, their families, and their country. Yet the Democrats appear more focused on appeasing activists than solving real problems.
Best protein powder for a clean bulk and other dude conversation starters. Bud Light etiquette, when to drink it, when to shoot it.
Now, this is comedy gold. Imagine it: a Democrat approaches you, all serious, trying to win your vote, not by discussing how to fix the economy, reduce inflation, or improve your life, but by giving advice on the best protein powder to bulk up. Hey bro, have you tried plant-based pea protein? Seriously? That's their strategy? You'd be standing there blinking, wondering if this is a political party or a fitness influencer. It's like they completely skipped the part where voters actually care about jobs, gas prices, and global instability, and went straight to gym talk. Here's a reality check. Voters aren't abandoning them over protein choices. They're leaving because their wallets are empty. If this counts as outreach, it's the most clueless sales pitch since New Coke.
Fishing, the bizarre hobby working class men enjoy instead of pickleball. The only scene that you're obsessed with in Titanic, hint, it has tits.
Maher kept the heat on, roasting the Democrats for their increasingly ridiculous tactics to win back male voters. Honestly, at this point, nothing would shock. If next week they roll out a sex appeal campaign, I wouldn't even bat an eye. Why? Because there's this ridiculous idea going around that men are simple creatures ruled by one thing: boobs. So naturally, the next brilliant strategy might be, forget policy, just flash some cleavage and call it outreach. It's like they skipped Political Science 101 and went straight to Maxim magazine. Maher nailed this desperation perfectly, pointing out that if your big plan to fix voter disengagement is thirst traps and TikToks, maybe it's time to throw in the towel.
Bruce Lee versus Bigfoot, mythical fight scenarios to man up your Joe Rogan appearance.
This is hilarious on so many levels. It's basically a comedy special. First, Joe Rogan, who used to be the left's favorite bald, muscle-bound uncle, seems to have quietly shifted toward the political center. Why? Because he barely recognizes the left anymore. It's turned into a cartoonish parody of the movement he once respected, complete with clown noses and ideological circus acts. Second, Rogan's podcast, along with a few scrappy independent shows, has captured America's attention by offering something mainstream outlets can't seem to deliver: real, authentic news and opinions that actually make sense. Imagine that. And finally, the delicious irony: while the left has been on a mission to erase every bit of traditional masculinity from men, Rogan unapologetically embraces it, hunting, lifting, and speaking his mind. It's like kryptonite to their narrative. No surprise they don't invite him into their echo chamber anymore.
Intersectionality and the importance of shutting the fuck up about it. And, undouching your face. Man beards from Ted Cruz to J.D. Vance.
The left just can't stop preaching about diversity and inclusion like it's some kind of magic fix for every problem in America. From inflation to bad Wi-Fi, you'd think if we just held enough sensitivity workshops, the economy would straighten itself out and world peace would happen by Tuesday. Never mind the obvious messes this obsession has caused. The DNC keeps pushing it like a dog with its favorite chew toy, no matter how much it annoys everyone else. Then there's Bill Maher, who couldn't resist taking a jab, not just at the ideology, but at the left's weird epidemic of beardless men. Seriously, what's a man without a beard? It's like a lion without a mane or a cowboy without a hat. Sure, facial hair isn't a policy issue, but in Maher's view, it's a pretty sharp metaphor for how the left has been, well, shaving off its backbone.
Last week, an 85% Latino congressional district on the border with Mexico, which had always voted heavily Democratic, flipped to the red team. And the campaign manager for the losing Democrat said, "We gave up a reliably Democratic congressional seat for no reason at all. We deserve to know why." Well, aside from your terrible attitude, I'm going to tell you why. Because these voters stopped seeing your candidate as their lawyer. That's why. Their message to you was, "I'm an American now. I'm here. Be my lawyer, not the lawyer for the migrants showing up in my backyard."
And that right there is the heart of today's Democratic Party problem. They've abandoned the everyday concerns of Americans to appease a loud, ultra-progressive minority on the far left. It's almost like they've started prioritizing non-citizens over their own citizens. Just look at their record. Whenever there's a push to secure the border or crack down on illegal immigration, they respond with moral outrage. But when fentanyl overdoses soar, claiming thousands of American lives each year, it's like silence. Where's the same urgency? Where's the outrage? The message they're sending is clear: virtue signaling to activists matters more than saving American lives. Maher didn't hold back in exposing this hypocrisy because while Democratic elites are busy debating pronouns and promoting open border agendas, real families are burying their children. And somehow, that's become an acceptable trade-off in their political playbook.
Every month I see a new poll reporting how much Latinos despise the woke term Latinx. It's about as popular with them as a reboot of Speedy Gonzales.
Another defining trait of today's Democratic Party is their tendency to impose trendy ideas without ever consulting the people they claim to represent. A prime example is the infamous Ladinks label. Instead of engaging with the Latino community to understand their perspectives, Democrats chose to slap on a term born in academia and Twitter echo chambers, and then acted surprised when it didn't catch on. In fact, polls showed that most Latinos rejected the label, finding it awkward, unnecessary, and even offensive. When the backlash hit, cue the political tap dance. Gavin Newsom and others suddenly acted like they had nothing to do with it, despite clear footage showing them using the term. It's a classic move: push a narrative from the top down, and when it fails, gaslight the public as if it never happened. The arrogance is astounding, and Maher was spot on to mock it as a clear sign of elite disconnect.
Even the country's oldest Latino civil rights group came out against it, yet AOC keeps defending it, saying gender is fluid, language is fluid. Yes, and Latino voters are fluid.
Many believe AOC isn't as Latina as she claims. Rumors have long circulated that her real name is Sandy Ocasio, a far cry from the bold, hyphenated Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez persona that emerged once she aimed for Congress. Critics argue she only embraced her Latino heritage when it became politically convenient, a strategic identity makeover meant to appeal to a specific voter base. Here's the kicker: while she was marketed as the voice of the Latino community, many Latinos didn't really see her as one of their own. She came across as more performance than genuine, but the left, never missing a branding opportunity, pushed her out like a shiny new campaign mascot, only to find voters weren't buying it. Instead of building loyalty, it backfired badly. Turns out, people can spot political pandering from a mile away. At the end of the day, the left's obsession with identity politics, virtue signaling, and narrative control is starting to fall apart. Whether it's AOC gaslighting her audience, the media ignoring real issues, or the DNC showcasing questionable figures like her to pander to voters, people are waking up. The Biden chaos, economic decline, border turmoil, and crumbling credibility have exposed the cracks. Americans want honesty, not lectures. They want results, not rebranding. And as independent voices grow louder and the echo chamber fades, one thing is clear: the old playbook just isn't working anymore. The tide is turning. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.